Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is our video on the Cold Steel Drama CD Returning Home. As previously mentioned, I kind of decided to just try and read it on camera instead of just reading it myself and then briefly talking about it afterwards, partially because, I don't know, I feel like it'd be more fun that way. Granted, I did skim through it to see how long it was, and I think I may have made a horrible mistake. I was thinking it would be about as long as Road to the Future, but it looks like it's about, I don't know, 8 times longer. So it might be here forever. Well, we'll see whether or not this is a horrible mistake or not as we get in and learn what the hell Rean and friends are up to in Ymir as they visited it off screen. Not salty or nothing. Alright, let's go ahead and jump in since, as previously mentioned, it seems to be long as hell, so let's not waste too much time. In recognition of our achievements at the Sakshan Iron Mine, all of us in Class 7 were invited by none other than His Majesty the Emperor to a brief respite at the hot spring paradise of Ymir. Instructor Sarah and the second-year students who generously assisted us in bringing the crisis to a close were also extended the same invitation. Now, what did Sarah really do there? I mean, come on. Ymir, as it so happened, was my hometown. I'd once sworn that I wouldn't return until I found a path of my own to walk, so going back before reaching that goal admittedly gave rise to mixed feelings. Still, with the Academy Festival looming ahead of us in the near future, I know I could do with a well-deserved rest as much as my fellow classmates and chose to go back home. Woo! You're gonna fall up the staircase if you don't look where you're going, Elliot. Sorry, this is one fancy-looking building though, isn't it? This is the Phoenix Wings, and I'm sure you'll all be very comfortable here during your stay. It has quite a storied history, and has been given to this village by a former emperor of the Imperial family. They gave us a house? What? An emperor? Really? Shut up, Machias. I have heard that the Imperial ensures our families are on good terms, but I'm surprised to hear your relationship extends this far. It was ages ago, though. By the way, Elise, I wasn't expecting you to come out and meet us as soon as we arrived. Any special reason? Despite being overjoyed to see her brother, Elise suppresses those feelings and behaves most curtly towards him. My being here should come as no surprise to you whatsoever. As the eldest daughter of the family, welcome you all is my duty. Aren't you also the only daughter? Seems kind of a weird clarification to make. Angelica naturally is captivated by Elise's dignified manner. Oh god, I forgot Angelica existed. The scenery is beautiful, our lodgings are elegant, our guide couldn't be more beautiful. Boy, if I wasn't looking forward to taking a dip in the swings before, I certainly am now. I can barely contain my excitement. I hope you aren't planning on doing anything inappropriate. Has Elisa not met Angelica yet? It kills me to agree with her, but this village is very picturesque. It's like the cozy little hideaway where you can sit back and take in the scenery while drinking the day away. I'd be more than happy to keep you in company, instructor. No, you won't. Students aren't allowed to drink alcohol, and you know that. I only said I'd keep her company, and you're welcome to make it a threesome if you want to. Why not join us? Toa, much like Class 7, despairs upon imagining what a drunk instructor Sarah and Angelica could do with their powers combined. I swear. It's like one to change of scenery, get those two to give up their usual degenerate ways. I can think of it this way, no matter where we go, we can always count on them to stay the same. Wow, you actually managed to make it sound like a good thing. My hat's off to you. It's what I do! Well, I'm just glad you guys seem to like it. It's not bad. It's too bad not everyone who was invited could make it through, though. Everyone's rooms are located here on the second floor. The men will be in a room on the left side of the communal lobby, while the ladies will be in a room on the right. We've also prepared individual rooms. Can we not, like, get a separate room in the dungeon for Angelica to be at alone for the duration of the trip? We've also prepared individual rooms for Angelica, Toa, and for your instructor. Okay, there's individual rooms for her, so we can lock the door and never let her out. I was there after hoping all the ladies could be in one room for some quality female bonding time. I suppose you can't have everything. This is exactly why I'm glad we aren't sharing rooms, you know? Well, if there's anything we can do to be of service, don't hesitate to deal with the staff. Everyone's all too eager to help in any way they can, especially since His Majesty was the one who asked us to wait on you all. Aw, thanks. Should we go and put our things in our room, then? Sounds like a plan, but everyone in Class 7 can come down to the lobby afterwards. I want to have a meeting about our concert before we start doing anything else. Let's not talk about the concert ever again. Also, is Crow with us? Just out of curiosity? Actually, didn't they mention that Crow doesn't come with you? I can't remember. Which, now I think about it, isn't that like mega sus? No, he's definitely with you, right? I'm trying to remember the picture. I think he's shown with everyone else. Right? He just maybe hasn't spoken yet. But where were we? I don't see why not. Great, alright, I'll see the rest of you. Rean slowly trails off as he notices Elise hesitating to say something. What's up, Elise? Well, don't worry. I'll head to the mansion later and say hi to Mom and Dad. I know they'll probably shake their heads and wonder what I'm doing back here, but still, you're curious too, right? Not at all. On the contrary, I've been really looking forward to... Huh? It's nothing. Regardless, I should get out of your way and let you get on with what you need to do. I'll see you later, Rean. Elise promptly leaves, her cheeks flushed and her formerly dignified manner now very flustered. She's adorable, Rean. Shut up, Gaius. Don't encourage her. She truly is a lovely young lady. The sight of her alone is enough to send my raging libido into an uncomfortable overdrive. Please keep all thoughts relating to my sister and your raging libido to yourself. Thanks. You know, Rean did beat you up earlier. He might have to do it again. Well, I can hardly fail to see, because if anyone's going to date his sister, of course it's going to be Rean. I mean, come on. Well, I can hardly fail to agree with how lovely she is. I'm a little lost in this libido business, however. Stay that way, Laura. It's for your own good. Laura, my only anti-horny ally. Phoenix Wing's second floor lobby. After placing their belongings in their respective rooms, the members of Class 7 gather in the lobby. Rean, standing up from a chair. Looks like we're all here. Yep, I take it this meeting means you've ironed out all the details on the concert. I have a vague idea at best, but it's not like we've heard anything else beyond the basics. I think it's about time you told us what we're actually doing, don't you? Yeah, sorry it took so long, but Elliot, Crow, and I think we finally got enough to start filling you guys in. Originally the plan was to tell everyone as soon as we got back from our field study, but then this whole thing ended up happening and kind of threw us off, you know? Understandable. Crow said he's fine with just me and Rean handling the actual announcement, so here goes. We've decided we're going to do 2 songs, and to do them we're going to need musicians, male and female vocalists, and backup dancers. This is sounding a lot more professional than I was expecting. We're doing 2 songs? I thought we'd be doing 1. Then again, I didn't think we'd be needing backup dancers either. I don't think just 1 song would be enough to satisfy people, really. It'll feel like the show's ending right when it's getting started, you know? And if we want our performances to have some kind of impact on them, backup dancers are a must, and they must also not wear clothes. It is imperative. Well, you're the expert. I see no reason to object thus far. You'll be objecting soon, Eustace. Next, we'll go through everyone's respective roles and what they're currently thinking for our stage outfits. Here you go. Everyone leans in to take a look at the contents of the paper and is shocked at what they see. What? Laura then begins reading out the information, printed loud enough so that her classmates can hear. So Rean will be the lead guitarist, Elisa the rhythm guitarist, Gaius the bassist. As for me, looks like it'll be our drummer, Laura. Then Elliot will be handling both the violin and the keyboard at the same time. That makes me and Millie the backup dancers, huh? Then the first song will be sung by Machias and Eustace, and the second by Emma. Particularly, Machias and Eustace are strongly opposed to this. Banging their fists on the table at the same time. I mean, you see Crow's there in the background of the picture. Now, where the hell he at right now? Who knows? Could we not get Crow's voice actor back so we have to pretend he's not here the entire time? Well, wait just a damn minute! Is this some kind of sick joke? You want me to sing with him? In the same outfit, no less. Are these frills? Are you clinically insane? Well, I thought they'd look good on you. They're kind of regal and all. I think the girls in the audience would love them. Yeah, you'll probably look cool for once. See, I knew I wouldn't be alone in this. Like I said, we're going to make an impact. We're going to need to make an impact if we want to beat Class 1, and you do want to beat them, right? Well, I'll back you up as much as I can in vocals, so can you at least try? Eustace, knowing he's fighting a losing battle. I think we all know their answer. Maybe enough for the first song, but for the second, it still seems like a bad joke to me. Nope, that was a very deliberate choice on Crow's part. He says it's the perfect way to make the second track memorable. Between how different you'll look once you take off your glasses and million and feet backing you up on stage, I'm inclined to agree. You want me to take off my glasses? Oh, I get it now. Lisa approaches Emma and wordlessly plucks the glasses from her face. Lisa, please give me those back. Hold still, it's only take a minute. After gently unbraiding Emma's hair, Lisa begins brushing it. Hair being brushed. I can't make that sound effect. I don't have long enough hair. I do have a comb nearby, but you wouldn't make a noise. What are you? And all done. See, I barely did a thing, and she's like an entirely new Emma. What do you guys think? The boys are stunned into silence. The girls rejoice. My. You really do look like a completely different person, Emma. You're telling me I can hardly believe my eyes. Honestly, having your hair up all the time and hiding those pretty eyes on those glasses is such a waste. Doesn't she look amazing like this? Well, I mean, I assume the glasses are there for, you know, a reason. I mean, some people do wear glasses for the look, but most people wear them because, you know, they need them. I agree. Now that I've seen it, I almost wonder if you should assume this look all the time. I couldn't possibly. Don't be silly. I mean, do they have contacts in this world? I mean, maybe, possibly. This should be a total hit, especially if you've got me and Million behind you. What about this outfit? Do I really have to sing on stage wearing something so revealing? If you think this is revealing, you should have seen the original drafts. I'll give you that they're probably a little more flashy than your everyday wear, but they'll work perfectly for the kind of music we'll be doing. Sorry, I had a bit of a sneeze there. I lost spot of where we were. Oh, there we go. The design is within the realms of good taste, in my opinion. Would you mind if I took a look at the original drafts? I'm rather curious after the way you put it. And then Rean promptly returned back to Trista, never to be seen again. I can't say I don't have my doubts, but if you say they'll work well with the music we'll be doing, then we'll just have to make it work. I'm not a vocalist, so I can't take lead, but I'll support you as best as I can, Emma. Well, alright, I'll try my best. We might have figured out the vocals, but I have my concerns about the instruments. I'm not even familiar with what a bassist is, much less how to play one. You'll figure it out, dude. Just zone out and pluck the strings. I've never played the drums before either, or any instrument for that matter. Yeah, but you can play the sitar, right, guys? With that kind of experience, you should be able to pick up on playing bass guitar without much trouble. As for you, Laura, I think your sense of rhythm and general physical strength makes you a perfect choice for the drums. Rean and Lisa should be able to transfer their skills with the lute and violin, respectively, over too. Maybe it won't be easy, but it's not impossible. You make it sound so simple. Maybe he is simplifying it, but Elliot sounds pretty confident about us all getting the hang of things with enough practice. Don't worry, you'll get the hang of your instruments, alright. Failure isn't going to be an option. Everyone is overpowered by Elliot's aura of intimidation. I mean, you know, we are coming off of Elliot, you know, carrying everyone through the sea fight, so, you know, you better be scared of him. Elliot, you're kind of scaring everyone. Woe to anyone who would give less than 100% to music in Elliot's presence. Alright, consider me on board. I am as well. I've never been one to shy away from a challenge, and I don't intend to start now. Besides, I have all of you with me. As opposed to I am of certain parts, I wouldn't want to reject all the hard work that has clearly been put into deciding on all this. Count me in, I suppose. I've already assigned myself to the inevitable. I'm not getting out of this one, am I? Yes, we've got all the concert details squared away. Clearly we're in for a lot of time of practice if we want to pull all this off and walk away proud. So we're going to need to get started as soon as we get back to the academy, but that's back at the academy. For now, I want everyone to make the most of the next 2 days and rest as much as possible. We can worry about all the tough stuff later. Anyway, that about does it. There's nothing in particular planned until dinner later on, so everyone's welcome to go and do whatever they want until then. Got it. The meeting now concluded, everyone stands up to leave, with Machias continue to grumble about being paired with Eustace as he walks away. So, what are you planning to do now, Rean? Well, I did promise at least I'd pop my head into the mansion and say hi to Mom and Dad. Figured now would be a good time. This is the first time you've been home in ages, isn't it? I think you'd want to do more than pop your head in. Yeah, well, I mean, I was considering on never seeing them again, so they should be lucky that I'm even here. Don't hold back on our account. Spend as much time with him as you like. Well, if you insist. We do. I intend to go off and offer my greetings to Baron Schwarz before we leave myself. But that can wait until tomorrow. I don't want to disturb his time with his family. Alright, I'll tell him to expect you then. See you guys later. In front of Baron Schwarzer's mansion, Rean arrives at the mansion. Has it really been half a year since I last set foot in here? Maybe I got a few memories here that I'd rather forget, but it'll always be home to me. I've missed being here. Baron and Lady Schwarzer step out from inside the mansion. Oh, welcome home, Rean. It's good to see you home. It's good to see both of you too. I wish I could have returned under better circumstances. What do you mean better circumstances? You're here because, like, the Emperor himself is like, bro, you're fucking sweet as hell. Have a vacation. Rean's mother very suddenly pulls him into a warm embrace. No one needs a reason to come home, surely. Just like a mother doesn't need a reason to hug her child. I suppose not. Hearing voices, Elise hurries out to the entrance hall. Mother, father, is that Rean? Elise sees her mother hugging Rean and is surprised. Mother? Elise? That's not fair. I've been restraining myself all this time because everyone else being there, and there you are. Wait, what? Realizing what she just said. If you could only be that honest with yourself the rest of the time, then I wouldn't need to worry about you so much. Oh no, is she encouraging the horniness too? Mother, please. It's been a while since we've had the whole family together, hasn't it? Why do you say we all sit down together and talk over some tea? That sounds great. Actually, since hanging with Maggie has become more of a coffee kind of guy, Just make sure you don't get too carried away with your hunting stories this time, darling. I want to hear all about Rean's school life while I have the chance. It's a lot of fetch quests. A lot of people being like, hey, I lost my notebook. Hey, could you help me fight a robot? But also, I need to get the last hit, and I can't faint. Seriously, it's very important. I won. You got hunting today too, Dad? But of course, my children's homecoming would be a reason enough to want to catch something to celebrate. How could I not when they're coming home with friends and after being commended by His Majesty at that? I'm sure everyone will love what you've caught when they find out. Now, what are we standing around here for? I'll get the tea ready, so go on and make yourself comfortable in the living room. Thanks, Mom! Baron Schwarzer's mansion living room. Rean, Elise, and Baron Schwarzer are sitting in the living room while talking while Lady Schwarzer brews the tea. Oh, incidentally, Rean, I had the chance to speak with Master Kai-Fei. How'd they say it? Kai-Fei? Kai-Fei? I can't remember how they pronounced it. A couple months back. You did? Indeed, you'd be pleased to know he's as healthy as he ever was, enough for him to beat me at best be in our drinking contest, though I must admit I may have been at fault for getting a little too cocky. You two are such a dangerous combination. He didn't have to say anything about me, did he? He did, actually. Said you're the worst student he ever had. Baron Schwarzer taking out a piece of paper and hands a letter over to Rean. A letter? To you from Master Kai-Fei. Go ahead and read it. Right. Rean intently reads through the letter. What does it say? Well, that's right. He seems to be doing pretty well. Seems like he's still wandering the continent, taking it easy for the most part. That's not all he's written, though. There's a more serious message for me, too. Something related to your training? Yeah, this bit here. Elise leans in to pursue the section that Rean is referring to. Seventh form that I've taught you is void. Remember, form is emptiness and emptiness is form. I want you to take those meanings to heart. Bro, that didn't mean anything. I guess I can't really hide the truth from him, can I? What do you mean? This isn't the first time he said this to me. It was the first thing he taught me back when I first became a student. In fact, even now, all this time later, I haven't worked out the true meaning behind those words. And if he's repeating it to me here, he must know it, too. Along with how lost I still am. Oh. Just think of it as a bit of homework for him during your trip, and maybe something will come to you while you're relaxing with your friends. I'll give it some thought. In the midst of the awkward silence, Lady Schwarzer's voice can be heard from the kitchen. Could you come give me a hand, darling? I can't get the lid off the jam. I'll be right there. Baron Schwarzer getting out of his chair. It sounds as though the tea is almost ready, so perhaps we should save the serious matters for another time, Rean? Yeah, you're probably right. Oh, by the way, I assume you'll be spending the night here in the mansion? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Actually, I was planning to head over back to the Phoenix Wings once we're done here. Sorry. What? Surely it wouldn't hurt to just spend one night here. Yeah, it would. Maybe not, but the only reason I'm here now is because of His Majesty's kindness, and given that he suggested us all to go here together, it feels like it's only right that I stay with him as much as possible. Well, when you put it that way, but still. Elise is unable to accept Rean's decision, but try as she might, she can't think of a good way to change his mind. If you must, but you'll come over and see us tomorrow, won't you? Nope. Of course I will. Baron Schwarzer's mansion kitchen. That's a promise now, a promise. Okay, I know. My, she insists on going to St. Astraea so she can be away from him, and then the second they're both home, she doesn't want him out of her sight. What's it been, 3 years since he found out he was adopted? Takes me back to how she always... Okay, so he didn't know from... No, she found out he was adopted. I was gonna say, shouldn't he have known he was old enough to have that knowledge? Takes me back to how she always was like this before then. It certainly would be a lot for any young lady to take in at once. If only the two of them would get married. Ah! Then we wouldn't need to worry about any of this. I'm not so sure I agree. He's a good son, yes, but he'll need more than that to be if he wants my daughter's hand. God damn it. Oh, there's no allies, man. There's no allies in my anti-incest alliance. Oh, you can be such a child sometimes. Well, even if he doesn't work out between the two of them, it sounds like he has more than enough potential sweethearts at the Academy. Who knows what the future holds? Who knows is right, but the way the Empire is now, and to hope the children here even have the chance to live the futures they want. And Baron Schwarzer really is one of those, like, if anyone's going to date my daughter, it's going to be me. I guess that's where Rean gets it from. Are you sure you don't want to join your family for dinner, Rean? You eat with us all the time, but this is your first chance in a while to join them. Nah, the horny energy is too powerful. Elise hasn't had the... Granted, we are eating with Angelica, so I guess it's about the same here. Elise hasn't had the chance to dine with him in a while either, so I'm guessing they'll have a great time catching up without me butting in. Knowing how Elise really feels, you are so unbelievably dense sometimes. I'm surprised she hasn't lost her mind dealing with you. Elise, quit being so weird. Huh? Dealing with what? It's nothing. Meanwhile, the others are happily enjoying the rest of their meal at the same table. Wow, this all tastes amazing! He helps with the kind of food you expect from a place surrounded by nature. This wild duck is spectacular. Your father caught it himself, you said? Yeah, he loves nothing more than to spend a day hunting. He used to take me out with him sometimes when I was a kid, too. He's fairly known for it outside of Ymir. That's quite the upper-class hobby. I wouldn't say it's limited to the aristocracy. Hunting's popular back home, too. Vegetables and herbs used in all the cooking are so luscious and colorful, Rean. Were these all raised by your mother? Yeah, that's right. She loves her garden. Elise used to help Mom tend to it too, though that's kind of hard to do these days since she's away at school. It's nice that she'll be able to finally sit down and dig on some fancy regional dishes for once. You guys are always going getting to eat the good stuff during your field studies. Might come to a surprise to you, but our field studies aren't a vacation. And don't lie, you totally showed up when where we were half the time. I bet you got to sample all kinds of local dishes. Well, surprise, surprise. Joking aside, you should try and make the most of this time to rest. You'll be swimming and work once you get back to the academy, you know? That's the plan. Well, you know that what we're trying to do, but all that's left is practicing and getting it down to a fine art. Easier said than done, but we'll try. Oh, you'll try, even if it kills you. I'm not sure I appreciate your tone of voice. You can tell he's dead serious, too. I hope the Academy Festival turns out to be fun for everyone. The fact that the national situation's calmed down a little bit gives us the chance to really focus on it, right? Well, the mood around the table suddenly grows much more serious. You could put it that way. It's somewhat reassuring that we haven't heard anything about the terrorists since the incident at the mine, but even then... So Crow canonically is here. We just pretend that he's not. Is that the way this works? I wonder if it actually was just like they didn't get his voice actor back for one reason or another, so we just have to pretend Crow's not here during all this, which is kind of hilarious. Because, I mean, he's in the picture. Oh god, I really shouldn't scroll this up, but he's in the picture, right? Yeah, you can see him there. I mean, you can't see my cursor, but I have it on Crow's face. So, like, canonically, Crow is here, but, we're just pretending he's not. Oh god, I've completely lost where we were. We were, yeah, right around here, right? You really think that's the last we'll see of them? It looks that way from where I'm standing. They lost all their key members at the mine when that airship exploded, so unless there were others that we weren't aware of, then we can safely say they're done for good. Oh, that reminds me, so... V, what did happen to V? How did he get away? I don't actually remember. I guess he gets away right when C comes up, right? So... I guess, is Sarah under the thought process that V's still alive, or not, is dead as well? Because I mean, we know he's still alive, right? Because he shows up with the mech and everything, but... Same with Scarlet. You know, there must be other remnants of the group out there, but not like they can do much without a leader. They're done. If only we could figure out the mystery behind who shot that airship down. Don't forget, there's still no end to the conflict between the factions as well. His Majesty's words seem to have had some effect in calming them, but who knows how long that'll last? And we know as well as anyone that we've only calmed on the surface. The conflict still persists underneath, much like they always have. It'll take more than what we've done to solve your opponent's problems, I guess. But that's all the more reason why you should focus on trying to make the festival fun for now, right? Bro, shut up about the festival, Toa. I'm with Toa. There aren't many major events in Erebone where both commoners and nobles mingle together. The Academy Festival is one of them. Yeah, and your class has people from both classes in it. So if people visiting just to see how well you all work together, maybe it'll change their perspectives, and even a little change is better than nothing. That's wishful thinking, you know? That does sound like an interesting way for you to keep us working towards a solution. I'm feeling motivated all over again. And that goes double for me. You guys ready to bust out the best concert Thor's has ever seen? You bet! Phoenix Wing's first floor lobby. After dinner, the boys and the girls took turns bathing in the springs, and we were able to wash away all the fatigue that had built up over the past few days. Afterwards, we enjoyed the rest of the evening together, talking, playing billiards, and even indulging in an intense pillow fight. I won. Before we knew it, it was time to turn in for the night. While the others were still fast asleep, I was stirring and able to get the letter from Master Kaifei out of my mind. Eventually, I found myself wandering through the night, alone, towards the outdoor hot springs. Oh no. I can't help but feel weighed down by my own shortcomings, the same shortcomings that are stopping me from discerning the truth behind Master Kaifei's words and from finding my own path to walk in life. As Rean wanders idly to the outdoor bath, he finds Angelica in the lobby. Far from her usual cheerful self, she appears to be somewhat docile and preoccupied. Wait, isn't that Angelica? Oh, hey Rean, I would have thought you were fast asleep by now. I could say the same to you. What brings you here? Not much. I was just on my way back from a dip in the springs, and I thought it might be nice to stop here and take in the night scenery for a bit. Care to join me? I'll treat you to a drink if you want. Is it just me, or does she somehow seem off? Something wrong? Not really. Well, seeing as you're offering. Good answer. It's been too long since we got to talk together like this, so how's academy life treating you? Pretty rough, actually. I thought we'd be able to catch a break half a year in, but it's showing no signs of letting up anytime soon. It's definitely fulfilling, though. The Academy Festival is getting closer to making me feel that way all the more, too. That's good to hear. You might have gone through some few rough patches since enrolling, but it seems like both your field studies and classwork are going well. All in all, life's turning up Rean, right? Not quite. For everything I'm happy with, I feel like something else I'm worried about, too. Is that power of yours one of them? Huh? You know about that? I heard the gist. Looks like a man who's been forced to look deep inside himself anew after spending a long time away from home. The kind who doesn't really like what he's seen. That about sums it up. Before I felt lost, just figuring out what I am and what I'm supposed to be doing. Coming back here has only ended up making me feel even more lost. I don't think there's any harm in feeling a little lost for now. You're still a first year. You've got plenty of time left to mull over the answers to those questions. They're not things you need to or can solve in a couple of days. Not alone. There's a lot you can't do on your own, but if you got friends you can trust, not even the sky's the limit. You know the feeling, right, Rean? Yeah, I do. And you'll be just fine. Remember that feeling and never let go. You won't find the answers you want by searching frantically for them. They're more likely to find you when you least expect it, especially with your classmates at your side. You only get one chance to enjoy youth. Make the most of it. Lady, you're 1 year older than us. Listening to Angelica's final sentence, Rean gets the feeling that there's some deeper meaning to them than there appears to be. Sorry, was that too cringeworthy for even you? No, what's cringy is when you talk about how much you want to fuck a 15-year-old, but that was actually kind of okay. No, it's not that. I'm just, I'm not the only one with something on my mind right now, am I? I was planning to tell you eventually, but I wasn't expecting you to throw a chance at my feet before I could even get to it. Angelica looks directly at Rean, a serious expression on her face. Rean, I got a favor I want to ask you. What is it? Would you be willing to take my bike off my hands? I'm sure you know what it means, what me asking that means. You're planning to drop out of the academy? Pretty much. As soon as I return home after this trip, that'll be it, I think. The little stunt I pulled at the mine didn't go down very well with that hard-headed old man of mine, you see? Oh. That's why I went ahead and told the academy that I'll be dropping out. Not without my permission, of course. I'm going to be grounded at home for a while. But that's insane. Is there anything that can be done? I mean, can't the principal or someone intervene on your behalf or refuse to let you drop out? He didn't even ask you. Not even the academy can go against a noble as prestigious as father, not unless they're willing to face repercussions on its administration. Principal Van Dyke's put me down as on leave rather than actually dropped out, but there's no difference when you get down to it. That does mean there's like the potentiality for her returning though, right? Granted, I guess the school atmosphere is going to be a bit disrupted going forward. Angelica gives a somewhat resigned smile. Still, it's not as though I didn't see this coming. But if I bring the bike back home with me, he's just going to take it away. And the last thing I want is to have the things that we put all our hearts into making disappear into thin air. I'd rather give it to someone who can look after it. Maybe even get some use out of it. And do you think that should be me? I don't want to give it to anybody else. If I know it's in your hands, I'll be able to rest easy. So, would you? Rean thinks silently for a moment. Sorry, can I have a little more time to think about this? Of course. Oh, well, I doubt I'll be able to get it out of the mansion until then. I do still want to drop by the festival, so, you know, good luck getting everything ready for it. Thanks. Angelica standing up from her chair. Thanks for giving me company. Not at all. I feel better about my own worries after talking to you. Well, I'm glad to have been of service. Sweet dreams, Rean. Good night, Angelica. First I got homework from Master Kaife, now Angelica. So much for 2 days of rest and relaxation. Meeting swings outdoor bath. With their talk now settled, Rean makes his way to the outdoor bath. Maybe I'll be able to clear my... oh no. Maybe I'll be able to clear my head if I take a soak in the spring. It's mixed bathing hours, but I can't see anybody else still up by now, so I'll probably be fine. I wonder who that could be. Maybe one of the girls couldn't sleep either? Both ladies turn to see Rean as he walks in and freeze, horrified. What? Ah! It didn't take more than a few seconds of uncomfortable silence for it to dawn on Rean what kind of situation he's in. Elisa, Laura, what are you? Ah! Mortified by Rean's presence, Elisa sinks as far as possible into the water. What are you doing here? This is the women's bathing time. What? No, it isn't. I thought you were better than this, Rean. Whoa, hey now. Laura wastes no time brandishing a large wooden stick in Rean's direction. You'll pay for your shamelessness. Where'd you even get that thing? Fear not, your end will be swift and painless. Now, Laura. Elisa, her embarrassment now overtaken by rage, swings a wooden bucket in Rean's direction. He needs to suffer if you ask me. Guys, listen to me. This is a good reason why I'm here. No excuses. Take this. Ah! Prepare for judgment. Hiya! Rean receives a full impact of Laura's stick and Elisa's bucket. Rean getting hit in the face by the bucket and over the head with the stick. I can't make that sound effect, unfortunately. Ah! He collapses towards the spring as a result of the force of the impact. You're making a mistake. Rean collapsing into the water. A short time later. After Rean wakes up, he finally manages to explain the situation to a now extremely apologetic Laura and Elisa. I'm so sorry, Rean. I had no idea there were mixed bathing hours. The two of us are clearly in the wrong here. We should have made sure before coming in, especially before wounding you, so... Yeah, you don't say. You know, maybe lose a few rankings on the power rankings for that. I thought I was done for. I mean, I can at least respect the anti-horniness they display. No, it's okay. I should have checked if someone was in first. Nonsense, Rean. It wasn't your responsibility to do so. The blame here lies solely at our feet. You had every right to come to the spring, and after all this, I think it's only right that you remain here. Seriously? Laura, we might have been in the wrong. We don't have to go that far. But he's already in the water. I couldn't bear to send him on his way and out into the cold after what we did. I see your point, but still... Yeah, I'm not sure the best solution here. The three become distracted as what appears to be white petals fall gracefully around them. Huh? Are these flower petals? That was my first thought too, but they're coming straight from the sky. They're all pleasantly surprised that the petals are snow. Wait, those aren't petals! Snow? It's only the start of October. It's too early in the year for it to be snowing. Phoenix Wing's lobby. The next morning, everyone gathers in the lobby. They're all looking outside at the snowy scenery before them. The village is blanketed in snow as far as the eye can see. This really shouldn't be happening at this time of the year. Indeed, it's not a sight one even sees up in the most chilly parts of the Highlands. It just keeps coming too. Someone's gonna need to work on clearing it out at this rate. Yeah, if it keeps going how it is, we're gonna have a serious problem on our hands by the afternoon. I wouldn't be surprised if the cable car's operation would have to be suspended even. We wouldn't even be able to leave the village. Baron Schweizer and Elise then arrive. Elise looks quite distraught. We're at that point, I'm afraid. Good morning, everyone. Morning. I've been around the village to assess the situation, and the snow buildup on the slope of the cable car uses is far too significant. We don't have a choice to suspend its operation for the time being. That's too bad. We were hoping to leave around midday. Guess we're stuck. Elise nervously draws to Rean and looks up to him. Rean, I know. Is something the matter? You both seem rather serious. Oh, we maybe gonna get some insight into the picture we keep seeing about Rean defending Elise. It's something that like this happened around 8 years ago too. It was this bad? It was. The snow lasted for roughly 3 days, then it simply stopped. We never could figure out why. It sounds like there might be something more than a freak occurrence then. I'll be sure to inform you once the cable car is up and running again. Oh, and before I go, I was given this by an employee at the Phoenix Wings. It's addressed to you and your classmates. Upon seeing the envelope, everyone is stunned. This looks like the envelope our field studies tasks are written in. Why would someone send us something like this? There's no sender written on it from what I can see. I think I know the fastest way to get to the bottom of this. Go on, open it up, Rean. Alright then. Rean carefully takes the letter out and begins to read. Lady and gentlemen of Class 7, I write in the hopes of entrusting you with an additional field study task. Journey along the Ymir Valley and may you bring an end to this extraordinary snowfall. It specifically says Rean needs to come with us at the end too. What's bring an end to supposed to mean? As hard as it's to believe, it looks like the snow isn't even a product of nature. Someone's actually causing it to fall. But that's impossible. Not if we go by what this letter is saying. The way it's written kind of feels familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. So what are you going to do? We should go. It feels like whoever's causing this snowfall is doing it to call us to them, and if they're requesting me by name, I don't think I can back away from this one. I agree with Rean. Class 7's dependable leader has spoken. Yep, watching them from up close always reminds me of the field studies we did last year, but it feels like Rean's built up even a better team than ours, huh? But I know we've decided, there's not a moment to waste. We should get going as soon as we can. Of course, I'll just prepare at once. Unable to resist any longer, Elise shouts her objections. It's too dangerous! Elise? You can't go. You don't even know what you're going to be up against. You're putting yourselves in danger. Remember, Elise, they're military academy students. Their whole education is about teaching them to handle dangerous situations like this one. If they say they want to go, then I say we should let them go. But, Father... We'll be fine, Elise. But I know you're nervous because of what happened last time, but unlike then, I'm not alone. And this isn't going to end the same way. Just trust me, okay? Okay? Alright, if I must. Elise casts her hesitations and looks up with a determined expression. But you need to promise you'll return safely. If you take too long coming back, I will be coming to rescue you. I won't be long, promise. Leave Rean to us, Elise. We'll take good care of him. You can extend that promise to us too. All of us swear to return safe and sound. I don't care about you, Machias. Thank you. Well then, we're off. Good luck, Rean. Ymir Valley midpoint. Having reached the path along the valley, the members of Class 7 begin their ascent and eventually reach the halfway point. Well, we're halfway up now, but there's still no sign of whoever sent that letter. They keep walking, but Emma begins to notice something strange about the surrounding area. I can feel the presence of spirits on this mountain. Something couldn't be sealed here, could it? Dude, traveling through the snow certainly is exhausting. Wouldn't you agree, Emma? But, yes, of course. It doesn't help that the monsters here seem oddly aggressive either. I'm guessing that's due to the snow. We usually don't get this much even in the middle of winter, so it's probably got them a bit riled up. 1 second. Alright, I'm back. So one thing that's kind of funny is, I don't know if it's really showing up on the recording, but like my pause and unpause recording hotkeys are page up and page down, which normally, you know, don't really do anything when you're playing a game, but for this it keeps causing the page to, you know, to go page up and page down, which is kind of jarring. So if you notice that it just randomly jerking up and down, that's probably because of me pausing the recording. Where were we? Oh yeah. I'm guessing it's due to the snow too. Well, you don't usually get this much even in the middle of winter, so it's probably got them a bit riled up. You said this kind of thing happened once before, didn't you? And maybe something else too? Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna force you to talk about it if you don't want to, but no, it's okay. I was planning to tell you all eventually, and now is a good chance as any. Talking about the experience is clearly painful for Rean, but he keeps going on nonetheless. Like I said, it was 8 years ago. I was 9, so that would have made at least 7. The two of us went to play up in the stream along the valley, but while we were out, snow started falling heavily just as suddenly as this one. We panicked and tried to run back to the village, but on our way we ran into this huge bear-like creature. We were kids, so we didn't have a chance of trying to seriously fight it. All I could do was try to desperately keep it from harming her, even if it meant getting hurt in the process. Are you okay? Rean, you're bleeding! Rean, no! No, don't come any closer, please! I was starting to lose consciousness, and all I could hear was the sound of the monsters, footsteps growing gradually closer. I knew in my mind that for every step it took, Elise was more and more danger, and that's when it happened. The scar on my chest started to ache like it was on fire, and my vision was dyed completely red. Young Rean's powers awaken within him, and he rises up. Rean? Monster roars as Rean cleaves the monster apart, blood spattering in grotesque chunks across the white snow. Where'd he get the sword from? When I finally returned to my senses, I was standing in the middle of a sea of blood. The small hatchet I'd brought to cut along the tree branches of my hand, left with the realization that a kid like me had just hacked a giant monster apart with such an insignificant weapon. I mean, it do kind of like a big chopper to me, but, you know, not really much of a hatchet either. That was right when I started to fear the power that I had discovered sleeping within me. I couldn't help but always be scared of losing control again. Who would be next? Elise? Someone I cared about? How badly would I hurt them, or would it be worse? Story over, Rean lets out a great sigh. Well, that's it. That's the childhood trauma I've spent most of my life recovering from. You guys already know I still can't control my power, even after training under Master Kaifei. Rean is clearly anguished. Every time I think of how I might end up hurting all of you because of my own inability, having second thoughts about wanting me to be around, I wouldn't blame you. On the contrary, Class 7 accepts this story without a second thought. Not at all. Really? I just thought you would have known us better than that, Rean. We've been with you for far too long to second guess staying that way over something so trivial. If anything, I'm happy to know you trust us enough to tell us that story. As am I. Yep, same here. Whatever happens, you'll have us at your side. You have nothing to fear. Not a single one among us would hesitate to lend you their strength. You don't have to deal with all your worries alone anymore, Rean. You've got us, right? I do. Thanks, everyone. Encouraged by everyone's words, Rean puts his worries at the back of his mind. You know, we've been hanging around here long enough. We're almost at the upper part of the stream, so let's keep going. Everyone nods. Right. Except for one character who goes, understood. Ymir Valley, upper part, 10 minutes later. The group reaches the upper part of the valley. The winds are rather forceful in this area. Yeah, this is the spring area. Ordinarily it'd flow out of the rest of the valley, but it's completely frozen over right now. While looking around, they notice the faint glowing of a stone monument and an unusual mark of some kind etched upon it. What's with this thing? It's glowing. There's some kind of weird symbol on it, too. It reminds me of that orb we encountered in Lohengrin Castle. Rean looks dumbfounded at the monument. He has seen it look this way before. Yeah, you're right. He slowly begins to recall exactly when he saw it glowing last. I remember now. Remember what? I touched this monument the same day 8 years ago. When I did, that symbol appeared, and all the water started freezing and the snow started falling. If that's true, then I would think this monument and the weather are connected this time too. Why is it the first time we're hearing of this? You see, sorry, I wasn't trying to keep it from you or anything. I just completely forgot about it myself until just now. Maybe because touching that was the catalyst behind putting Elise in danger. It's not like you knew that would happen, though. You can't blame yourself. Thanks, Elliot. Either way, I agree with Emma about the monument. The question is, how do we stop it? How about blowing it up? That might return things to normal. I think we should consider blowing things up as our very last resort. Boo! Boo! Boo this man! For starters, let's have a look around and see if we can find any clues in the surrounding area. At this point, the symbol of the monument begins to glow even brighter. What's happening? It's so bright. I can sense intense power. A giant ice monster appears. Come on, man. Even in the side story, there's gotta be a boss fight. What? Whoa! Was that thing sealed inside the monument the whole time? Everyone draws their weapons. Approach it with caution, everyone. Right. Monster lets out a loud roar. Meow. Ah! Everyone is turned to ice up to their shoulders, while the monster is rendered unable to move. How was it able to freeze as many of us at once? Oh no, now we know what the Lord of Shadows feels like when we stun-locked him. Well, I guess that hasn't technically happened yet for these guys, but this is payback in the past for what happens in the future. I can't move! Monster howls and it begins to raise its arm to attack. It's going to attack again, but we can't fight back. No, we can't lose now. Not now, but what can I do? Rean then begins to recall Elise and Elise's words. Seventh form that I taught you is void. Remember, form is emptiness and emptiness is form. I want you to take the meaning of those words to heart. You don't have to do all your worries alone anymore, Rean. You've got us, right? Now I get it. Just like that power of mine, looking away from things that make me who I am doesn't suddenly make them disappear. All it does is stop me from being able to move forward. I need to start by accepting myself for who I truly am. One final loud heartbeat. He's gathering strength with an anime yell. Rean! As Rean cries out, the ice imprisoning everyone shatters. What? I can move again! It's just like when Lloyd breaks out of the evil eye at the end of Zero. Rean, breathing deeply, power welling deeply from within him. What immense strength. This is Rean's true power, huh? We can beat this thing. Let's do it! Right! The beast lets out another mighty roar. I think it's gonna try and freeze us again. Not this time. Machias fires several shotgun rounds to stop the monster in its track, but unfortunately it does 0 damage and has no effect whatsoever. He flies through the air, taking advantage of the opening created by Machias. Payback time! The sound of 2 short explosions. Laura uses this chance to attack, slashing the beast with great force. The monster flinches. Now, Rean, back him up, Elisa. I read that wrong for some reason. Got it! Supported by Elisa, Rean runs towards the monster. He lets out another anime yell. I won't lose, not after promising Elisa to return home safely, not after promising her that this won't end the same way as last time. With all his strength, Rean successfully bisects the monster, gives out one last fateful cry before collapsing and fades away to nothing. Yeah, that does happen a lot. What's up with that? What's the lore implication for why monsters always turn to dust? Is it disappearing? The blizzard's stopping too. Is that it then? Looks that way. Whatever that thing was, it must have gone back inside the monument. Ew, I hope it doesn't come out anytime soon. I did not want to go down. Still, Rean, looks like you were a completely different person in that fight. Got some way of overcoming that trauma of yours now? Yeah, I think I've got you guys to thank for it. It was only because you were able to accept that part of me that I was able to take that first step towards accepting it too, so thanks. That's good to hear. Indeed, with all that behind us, I'd say a job well done, wouldn't you? Phew, what a relief. No, we're not finished just yet. Why not? Rean cries out to their seemingly empty surroundings. How about you stop watching from the shadows and show yourself, Phantom Thief B? Him? I mean, I was kind of wondering. I couldn't think of who else it could be besides him, because they mentioned the letter, right? You know, like recognizing the letter. Yeah, it is kind of odd that, you know, Blue Bonk would help us in that regard. Phantom Thief B reveals himself while clapping his hands in a delighted manner. That was quite the spectacle, and how astute of you to realize that I was present to witness it. You have my genuine respect, Rean Schweizer. Why's that weird guy here? I'd have to wonder why we didn't see it coming in the first place. Were you watching us from that cliff the whole time? Was all this your doing? Correct? Why? What do you have to gain? Rean, is that really the question you should be asking? I think not. What you should be asking is this. Why have you taken such an interest in me? The hell? Before answering, that appears to be a much more appropriate query. I should like to introduce myself again. Phantom Thief bows before them, his cape elegantly blowing in the wind. You already know my identity as Phantom Thief B, but I'm also Enforcer number X or number X? I guess you would just say, would you say 10 there, or X? I don't know. Of Ouroboros, and I imagine you'll be meeting me plenty more in that capacity, Class 7. Ouroboros? Wait, you were the people who made those Archaeums? And the ones who helped the terrorists. I would hate that there be any misunderstandings between us, so allow me to make our position perfectly clear. We of Ouroboros live and work in the shadows of history. We have no interest in the ideals of terrorists. We did, however, have an interest in the result that their actions would bring about, and as such we chose to give them a little helping hand. Of course, none of that is here nor there. Now, being here today has nothing to do with our goals of Ouroboros. No, I'm simply here because of an approachable interest in all of you. I really like following around teenagers. It's kind of my thing. Here to enlighten us? You each have their own fascinating histories and circumstances, and were brought together by the guiding hand of fate, and my very own rival in beauty, Prince Olivert. As a phantom thief who thirsts for hidden beauty in all of its forms, how could I be allured by such splendor, particularly you, Rean? Other than you supposedly being found in a blizzard by Ymir's baron 12 years ago, all that's about your past is shrouded in a veil of mystery. Are you a commoner, a noble, Erebonian, foreign? No one knows, and you were not curious. And were you not curious enough? You even have an unfathomable power that you constantly live in fear of. Just who are you, truly? Are you some sort of JRPG anime protagonist or something? Blue Block's rapturous excitement is obvious in his voice as he keeps talking. The truth lies hidden within you is so delightfully enigmatic that I cannot help but want to learn it. How can you stand in front of someone and talk about them like some kind of riddle that needs to be solving? Rean's an actual person with feelings, you know? You truly are despicable. No, it's fine, you two. I'm not bothered. Oh? Go ahead and try and learn the truth that lies hidden within me if you want, Blue Block. You're not going to be able to do it. But I ask, what makes you so sure? You're talking about my past, about who I am. That's just something where there's only one right answer. Like it's some kind of multiple choice question on an exam. It's not that simple. Don't bring up questions on exams, or you're going to make me do the public transport rant again. I'm listening. Who I am is something I can only find out myself, and that's after struggling to find that answer, after never looking away from that answer or refusing to accept it, no matter what it may turn out to be. If you sniff so hard around, maybe you could find out where I was born or how I got this power of mine, but that all you'd be finding out is random facts. Those aren't who I am. Those aren't the answer I want. As long as you don't understand that, you might as well just give up and get lost. I'm proud of you, Rean. Agreed. Well said. Rather than being dismayed by Rean's words, Phantom Thief B is in high spirits. I see. I suppose when you put it that way, your words make perfect sense. Such truths are purely personal. The one I would acquire would be much different from your own. A fine answer! A strong wind begins to blow, and Class 7's vision is obstructed by a flurry of petals. Whoa, why are there white petals all of a sudden? Oh, how cowardly. But bear in mind that no one can hide from their own destiny, and I look forward to finding out what truths you all discover when that fateful moment occurs. Phantom Thief B's final words echo through the air as his cape flutters in the wind yet again. I earnestly await what the future holds in store for your class, until we meet again. With one more powerful gust, Blue Blanc disappears. He's gone? That was like magic. What a formidable man he is. I mean, come on, Blue Blanc's like the weakest enforcer by far. He's not that strong. The number of mysteries surrounding Ouroboros just keep going up, doesn't it? So it seems. Alright, we've done what we set out to do. We know who was responsible. Let's head back to the village. No objections from me. I'm sure Elise will be happy to see you home too. Yeah. Funnelker Station. With the mystery behind Ymir's strange happenings resolved, Class 7 gathers to depart the village as originally planned. Baron Schwarzer, Lady Schwarzer, and Elise are there to see them off. Must you leave right away? I'm afraid so. A little later than we expected, but better late than never, right? Take care, alright? Thank you again for taking care of us while we were here. I wish you all well in the days ahead. I was hoping that your stay would be a lot more relaxing than it turned out to be, though. The group thinks back to what happened with Blue Blanc. I think we all were, but no one could have ever predicted someone from Ouroboros would show up here. Once again, Crow, bro, where are you, man? It is kind of odd that Sarah didn't come with us as well. That's kind of weird. I mean, he did ask for Class 7, but you would think she would kind of tag along regardless. Fortunately, he didn't seem intent on causing any more trouble than was necessary to lure us out, but then again, it's clear the society as a whole has a completely different goal of their own, but they're even willing to aid terrorists in order to achieve it. And whether he was troubled today or not, he's shown full well that he's not a foe that we can afford to underestimate. I mean, we can. I'll bet that's true for the other group members too. We're really going to have to get a lot stronger if we want to stand a chance against them next time we meet. You're telling me, but I'm sure we can do it if we put our minds to it. Baron Schwarzer laughs, clearly relieved at Rean's attitude. Were you able to solve Master Kaifei's homework, Rean? I think so. I can't be sure without asking him, of course, but I finally realized that all this time I've been lying to myself. I've been trying so hard to convince myself that I'm someone I'm not, all because I was too afraid to face up to the truth. Until now, I've felt so ashamed. Rean, what happened today has taught me that I can't look away from what's inside me any longer, so I don't want to. I want to find out what this power is within me, and I want to find out who left me in that snowstorm all those years ago. For now, that's my truth. But then, you don't have to look so sad, Elise. I'm not planning to disappear from your life or anything. Whatever those answers turn out to be, I'll be here. The reason I want to know is so that I can truly be myself. There's a Rean Schwarzer that I should have been all this time. One that's your brother, and the one that's Mom and Dad's son, and the one that's a member of Class 7, and I intend to find him. No matter how harsh the truth may turn out to be. Yes, even if I'm not up to accepting it now, I intend to make myself that way by the time I do find out. With my classmates at my side, I'm sure I can. And I will say no more on the issue. I'm glad you have such wonderful companions. At this point, Baron Schwarzer produces a sword and a scroll. I think you've earned a passing grade. As such, take this. In this? Indeed, it's an intermediate level scroll for the 8-leaf style. Master Kaifei asked me to give you this in the event that you displayed you had the potential to advance in your swordsmanship. I'd say you've done just that. He did! He knows deep down that you have had more potential than you had shown him during your training. Accept it, Rean. It's all yours now. Rean takes the scroll in his hand. I will humbly accept it. Well done, Rean. Don't go slacking up that you've earned it. I wouldn't dream of it. Congratulations, Rean. Thank you. Incidentally, dare I hope that you have a positive response to my own question? Oh, about the bike? You got it to us, so Rean, made up your mind yet? Yes, I have. I'd be happy to accept that too. Just what I wanted to hear. Well, I want to make this very clear. I'm not going to be looking after it again forever. You're going to have to come back to us at some point and pick it up. Think you can handle that? I wasn't sure. I wasn't expecting that as a response. Alright then. As long as you take good care of her while I'm away, we have a deal. Good. Good for you, Angie. The time has finally come for them to actually leave. Maybe you guys didn't get much R&R as we planned, but I'd say you kids got something worthwhile of this whole shindig. So you ready to head out now? Oh. Rean then turns to face his family again. Try and come back on your next vacation, son. This is, after all, your home, and it always will be. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Mom. The train's bell ringing, ready to depart. Look after yourself, Rean. I can't wait to see you at the Academy Festival. I will. See you soon. Okay. That actually ended up not being quite as long as it seemed. I guess because there's like, you know, the way the text is formatted and everything, and there's like big line breaks between everything. But overall, that's pretty good. My only real, I kind of forgot there was something that I thought was kind of odd about all this. Oh yeah, the whole the explanation of what happened here in these scenes was a little too fast. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's something that, like, it's a big enough deal to Rean that I don't really like it being delegated to a side story. You know what I mean? It's obviously, like, you know, his, you know, it's a traumatic experience that I feel like should have been more directly mentioned within the main game itself as opposed to being relegated to a side story. Same with really the whole, like, returning to Ymir in general. I mean, I get that, you know, the game's long and you kind of have to maybe cut some corners in some regard, right? And honestly, I can't think of what chapter you would have, like, replaced with a trip to Ymir in the first place. Like, I think if you had added a full extra chapter, the game would have just been, like, way too freaking long anyway. But I guess I would have kind of preferred, like, them maybe not even go to Ymir at this point and have the first visit to Ymir be, like, something that actually happens, like, on screen. Just because it does feel kind of weird that, like, you know, even if they do go to Ymir in, like, future games, which, I mean, I assume you'll have to go there eventually, right? Like, it won't even be, like, the first time you're there for the characters. Like, it just kind of have this weird feeling of, like, you know, the characters have all been there, and, like, they've met Rean's family and everything, but, like, the player hasn't. So it's kind of, I guess it's, like, a reverse dramatic irony for the way, like, some of the sequence in the game works. I don't know. I can't really think of how to explain it, but I do think it's kind of odd that, like, the whole explanation for Rean's kind of the traumatic scene here is, like, I don't know, 7 sentences, if that. So, not like a huge fan of. I mean, I do like that they kind of go into some detail, I suppose, but I feel like it's something that should have been more directly confronted in the main story itself of the first game. Which, I mean, maybe that was the intention. You know, the fact that they you know, had these like art panels drawn up in the main game itself. But, and I mean, you can kind of put it together like context clues wise, but it does still feel like it's something that like affects Rean enough that it should have been more directly talked about. I'm trying to think, anything else? Very odd that Crow doesn't talk at all. I was a little disappointed in that regard. I assume it's probably like a logistical thing, maybe to do with like a voice actor or something. Like the fact that I believe Crow's supposed to be here with you, like canon-wise, but he just doesn't ever talk. So that's because I mean it would have been kind of interesting to see like the scene with Crow, especially having the knowledge of him being C, right? But it would have been kind of neat and interesting, but yeah, I think those are the main things. I feel like they could have gone into more detail, or like that whole sequence with the Rean's flashback and awakening his power for the first time should have been done in the main game. Kind of sucks that Crow isn't in this at all, and I guess that's about it. I do kind of like the idea that Rean gets a secret scroll that would let him do more 8-leaf stuff. Kind of interesting, I suppose. But yeah, overall, pretty good. No real major complaints. It's just kind of stuff that I feel like should have been in the... Which, I mean, maybe that was the intention, right? I mean, I kind of assume it was, but it just wasn't able to fit into the main game itself. Phantom Thief B showing up at the end was a little random, but I guess it kind of makes sense a little bit, because he is a weirdo, but I don't think there's anything else worth mentioning here. I don't know. If I think about anything else, I'll maybe kind of talk about it in the discussion video, which will come out, I don't know, eventually. I'm trying to think, because this video should actually come out tomorrow, I think. Because today is supposed to be the Blood Moon video, which I was originally going to split into 2 parts, but I decided to just say fuck it and upload it as like a 2.5 hour video, because I think that one's going to have like very little interest in it in the first place, so it's like, why even drag it out into 2 different videos? Just go ahead and get it done and uploaded. Even though, I mean, I enjoyed the Blood Moon Rose book a decent amount. Probably actually more than I like Carnelia, if I'm being honest. Well, I like both of them for different reasons. Carnelia, I appreciated its brevity, but I did like aspects of the Red Moon Rose story. It's just a little too long. But, yeah, so this will be this video. Then a timeline on when to expect Cold Steel 2. It definitely... I want to do the discussion video first. I haven't really decided when I'm going to try and get that done. I'm trying to think, what is today? Today for me is Wednesday. I'll definitely record it sometime this week, like maybe Friday. Maybe expect the discussion video Monday. Monday, the whatever day that is. September the 6th. And then maybe we'll start Cold Steel 2. I don't know. Maybe not that week. At the very latest, Cold Steel 2 will start by the 13th of September. I'll set a date. 13th of September, absolute latest. Probably a little bit before that, because I do kind of have the itch. It just kind of depends on like how like I need to also get a backlog for Danganronpa and Ys, which I've kind of got a decent little... Got about a week on both those series almost, so... And then we'll start grinding out Cold Steel 2, where we'll probably still do 2 videos a day, maybe. We'll probably do 2 videos a day, but I might make them even slightly shorter than they were for, like, maybe like 50 to 55 minutes as opposed to an hour. Just because, I mean, I was definitely running into issues of... even just like uploading and rendering the videos out in time was kind of like hard. Like there was a lot of times where like videos were late just because like they took too long to upload or they got stuck on YouTube processing forever, which was like really annoying. I mean, granted, that's sometimes like YouTube's just weird with like longer videos at times. Like I've had times where videos will be stuck in processing for like 2 days, which that's not on, you know, the internet speed or anything. Like once the video is uploaded, you know, it's off of the user's end and it's purely on YouTube servers. But yeah, just, you know, rendering out videos and everything, it's a little bit, like more time consuming when the videos are longer on average, so we'll probably make them just slightly shorter. Like, you know, honestly, like, you know, probably wouldn't even notice if I didn't mention it here, but like 50 to 55 minutes as opposed to like an hour, hour and 10, as we've been doing for, most of the Cold Steel videos. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it overall. Final, just to repeat myself one last time. Interesting. Definitely kind of wish it had just been in the main story, but some neat stuff in the like, I do like that there's at least some like personal growth and development for Rean, as opposed to it just purely being like a recreational side story, right? That you kind of have some character development here for Rean in regards to him confronting how he feels about his super special power and being more willing to use it in the future. Yeah, I think that's going to be it from me. I'm Extra Cheese 87. Stay tuned for the next part. Or next part, but the discussion video and then the next Let's Play, because I think this is pretty much the last bonus video. I can't think of anything else I really want or need to do, so yeah, discussion video / LP reflections in about a week. Then Cold Steel 2 a few days after that. Goodbye.